Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
So Cory Castle isn't here again, like a jerkweed.
Possibly he'll be here in all day.
Who knows? He might be on later. We'll find out as the show goes on.
Let me change this camera angle. I didn't realize it was going straight up my nose. I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Probably not. But hey, everybody, welcome to Rassle Rock. It's another great wrestling time that everyone is having in the world of wrestling.
Depends on what you're watching, man. It depends.
Listen, I'm hearing great things about AEW. I'm hearing not so great things about literally everything else. So it's yeah, like you said, it all depends on what you're watching. I haven't seen a single thing from wrestling. Just because I need to start watching AEW. I think I need to pick up my love of wrestling again. Like I've lost it pretty much completely.
I agree with you totally. It's kind of funny how like Matt Flowers used to do the show. He kind of lost his love for it and then stepped off the show. Yeah. And it's funny that the show that he made fun of constantly for almost 2 years is now the show he watches and praises. Yeah. But he's also watching NXT. He's the one who hit us up about Braun Breaker and told us like, which the guy is. It's weird. He's like if Goldberg and Scott Steiner had a baby. Like, he's got the Goldberg tattoo on his shoulder. He's wearing the singlet, and he's built like Steiner. I don't know I think my camera's messed up.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what.
You're looking all right. I
dropped it a couple times, and maybe the camera shifted inside the. We can start with that if you want. Wargames was good. It was the main event was good.
Yeah, the men's war game match. I'm hearing good things. Gargano and Ciampa back together again for at least that night. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, if you followed that entire storyline, which if anybody listens knows, I was a huge fan of all that. Especially Gargano. He's one of my all-time favorites now. They did a lot of winks and nods to their entire storyline. There was a spot, and like I apologize. I watched most of the match. I was actually bartending at the time, but I had like two like lovebird couples in there, so I could pay attention to the match more. But people started asking questions midway through while I was watching it. Why is this on? Oh, this is stupid. Oh wait, and then 10 minutes later, like who's that? Why is he doing this? And like why is he hitting like? It's like, oh, you guys suck. Just watch. But there was a great spot. I cannot remember the wrestler it was, but Johnny Gargano hit him in the back with a crutch, and he turned around and him and Ciampa just did one of these, like a little like as a nod to like him getting hit in the back with the crutch. And there's another great spot where Gargano and why am I blanking on his name? The Bruiserweight.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
They're just wrecking fools. And then Gargano looks to him and does the little shoulder, and it was dope. And like Pete Dunne just looks at him like, what are you doing? But you could tell Johnny was having fun in the match. You can tell, if he was going out, he was going out on his shield in that match. I don't know what's going on since we're recording this right while he's supposed to be addressing the crowd, and whether he's going to stay or not. Kind of sounds like he's staying if he's going to address the crowd. I don't. I mean, I'm kind of sad because I was really looking forward to him going over to the other side because I really think. Why am I blanking on his name too?
Who are we talking about? Adam Cole?
John O'Malley. I mean, no. Wait, John. What? Why am I breaking out his name?
What are you talking about?
Hold on. Hold on 1 second, because I said
I have no clues here. You can talk about literally anyone.
I love him. Where's the rest of them? Oh, he's the part of Red Dragon.
Nope, you got me. I have no idea.
Hold on. I'm in the wiki fandom for WWE. I'm so sorry. And I love this guy. And it's just my brain is not working. I was getting O'Reilly.
Oh, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. Sorry, I got tattooed for like 3 hours, so my brain's like fried.
Yeah, I'm hearing Kyle O'Reilly might be heading over to AEW. He did a tag match at Wargames, and I'm hearing he threw up the old AEW, or I'm sorry, he threw up the old Undisputed Era thing, at the end. So that's interesting that he could be heading over there, and maybe a little something with Adam Cole, and probably Bobby Fish.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering now, like, should we be doing research on when Roderick Strong's contract's up?
Yeah, if they reunite the whole the whole Undisputed Era. I mean, I'm sure WWE has that name on lockdown, but you form all four of those guys over in AEW, they'll wreck house, man. That'll be the resurgence all over again.
Well, I'm thinking because they're already like teasing like little hints here and there that Adam Cole isn't getting along with Kenny Omega. Of course, Kenny's hurt right now and he's going to be out for a while. But you think if Kenny comes back after he's been out for a while and they move him into like a face role for being out, and you start doing that, you can have Adam Cole like turn on him and the Undisputed Era show up, and then you have like Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and probably Hangman Page as your main babyface versus the Undisputed Era. I'm sorry, there's nothing WWE can do to even compete with that right now.
No,
that would be
especially if it's Kevin Owens. If Kevin Steen joins up with Kenny Omega and the Bucks and all them, oh my God!
Mount Rushmore. If they do that's the other thing. Maybe they go that way and do the Mount Rushmore storyline, and Kevin joins there, and the four of them, Cole and the Bucks with him like wreck shop. And, we can get into that. That was the thing that really annoyed me this week was what they did with Sami Zayn.
They did him dirty, man.
I'm tired of this. Like this is the problem. Like this is what you're talking about. Like I need to watch AEW. Like I would like to start watching MLW again. I know they're putting YouTube shows out. I'm going to start watching those guys. Yeah. Because I am just tired of WWE going, oh, the fans like this guy, or like not even the fans. They have this thing against like hardcore fans. So it's like, oh, the hardcore fans love Sammy. So you know what? We're going to humiliate him, embarrass him, beat him up, and then he's never even going to get a title shot. That would have been probably an awesome match. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. You give them 20 minutes, like it could have been a stellar match. Yeah. Instead, as much as I love Brock, they have Brock like destroy him, and then Roman comes out and just spears him. Dude, it was just gross. I understand the storyline, but I'm just over it, dude. I'm over this. Like I was going to say that with O'Reilly, when he won that match, at least he got the turn on his tag partner, the big tall dude, Van Hammer or whatever his stupid name is.
Whatever. Generic superstar number 5.
AEW splattered in paint. Like 2.0 name. The guy showed up on SmackDown 3 weeks ago and just stood there and nobody knew why he was there. And he didn't say anything.
They didn't even make a mention of him. That was his name, Von Wagner.
Von Wagner, right?
Yeah.
That's why I call him Van Hammer. He's about as charismatic. Like, I don't know. I'm pulling one out of my ass from like, what is that, late 90s, early 2000s? Yeah. You guys don't remember Van Hammer. He stunk. Like he did the Undisputed, but they're doing the same thing on Monday nights with the whole AJ Styles thing. It's like AJ Styles can't wrestle all of a sudden. He can't win a match. He can't.
Yeah, what the hell?
And they keep trying to make it like almost is the only reason why he can win a match.
Yeah, what's that about? I mean, almost, I'll give it to him. He's, he's good for a big guy that just kind of stepped into wrestling. Like he's not, just like some guy, like a basketball player that they just put, a pair of wrestling tights on. He's doing much better. Like you see the guy growing and like learning and stuff like that. Undertaker gave him a shout out on Twitter. Did you see that?
No.
Taker said he reminds him a lot of Andre the Giant. Just the way he moves and like the vibes, like he has like the Andre vibes of like he could be a great big man wrestler one day. Which, of course, Twitter blew up at and was like, he's not, how dare you with Andre the Giant? How dare you? But, the sentiment was there of,
First of all, that's waxing poetic. People don't realize as great of a legend Andre was, he wasn't that great of a wrestler.
Not at all. I mean, especially if you watch like later on, like WrestleMania 3, did Andre even take a bump? Like, come on.
Biggest skill was his ability to not hurt people with his size. That was his biggest skill.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Both of us giant Andre fans. I will not. I saw him in the Spectrum, which doesn't even exist in Philadelphia anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like 9. Seeing Andre the Giant walk to the ring was the most insane thing ever. But here's the thing. The only thing I'm worried about it looks like his knees might be shot before he even really wrestles. And that happens with a lot of guys who are like really that tall.
Yeah.
His footwork and his movements, I can't even really say footwork, just because I don't really understand footwork myself. His leg movements, like just how his gait, like this is personal training bullshit, but like his movement and all, it doesn't seem right. He looks like he can't walk well. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I'm worried about. Everything else, he's fine. Like he does it, the tree slam. He does a couple other moves. He doesn't have to do much. No. He's massive and he's got giant arms. He's got a ton of muscle on him. So he's convincing when he just throws a punch or a chop or whatever he wants to do. Like it's convincing.
Yeah.
And
that's great. But then again, like that doesn't mean that you don't have AJ Styles sitting there. Like he's one of the greatest wrestlers of this generation. And you just kind of have him sitting literally in this guy's shadow.
Yeah, it's that weird thing WWE does where they think AJ's such a big star that they can do this kind of damage to him and it'll be okay because he's AJ Styles. But they don't understand, like, how many people are there, like, still sticking to WWE just to see AJ Styles? Like, or sticking around just to see Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. Like, these guys, people, especially, like, our age and maybe 10 years younger, like, those guys, we all grew up on those dudes, and now they're in the big leagues. And WWE just sees nothing in them. And they just treat him like, AJ Styles, are you kidding me? Like, that guy should be back on SmackDown, and he should be the second-tier guy underneath Roman, and that's what they should be wrapping that whole show around.
Yeah. That's another problem with Roman Reigns. Like, I'm loving watching Roman, but you can tell no end game written out here. He's just the champion now until someone's going to schoolboy him or, I mean, like I could see like Lesnar beating him and then Roman getting him back or whatever. But it's going to be like a Money in the Bank cash in or something like that ends it. You can just tell. And it sucks. They're not building anyone right now that could even come close to Roman Reigns.
No,
it's insane.
Because I think what it is they're in a holding pattern because they're probably trying to get on their hands and knees and beg Rock to come back and wrestle him at Mania.
Yeah.
They don't even have to worry about him losing the title because he's going to wrestle The Rock, and they don't even have to make it a title match if they don't want to.
Yeah.
It's poor planning on WWE. This is par for the course of what we've been dealing with for the last, it was a shame, man. There was that time we were getting really stagnant a while back with Matt on there where the shows were getting really bad. We didn't know what to talk about, and we were dragging our feet. And then all of a sudden they started doing, they started having good matches and they were doing a lot of fun things. Now it's right back to I'm basically just got the show on in the background. And then when a match comes on interesting, I watch it. Like I watched the RK Bro tournament. I wanted to see AJ Styles and Omos, versus the Street Profits and who will win. And then the Street Profits get a weak win. So they don't even look tough. And then you got Rey Mysterio and his son versus Alpha Academy. Otis doesn't even get in the ring. And they do another roll up on Chad Gable. Otis never even wrestles. Match is over. So now we have face versus face to wrestle, a face team versus face team to wrestle another face team. And
it's the same old. It's just boring. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see these guys that are great that are just not being used. And it's lazy writing, and it's just
weird how they focus on two guys. So you have Raw, and even though Big E's the champion, everybody loves Big E. Well, he's not the focus. It's Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
And like everything revolves around Seth Rollins. Everything is secondary. Of course, their secondary storyline in Raw is actually half decent, which is the RK Bro storyline. When that finally blows up, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Because they're actually dragging it out instead of them being a tag team for like 3.5 weeks and then one of them turn on each other.
Yeah.
And then all you have on SmackDown is Roman.
That's it. Yeah.
With 3 storylines in 5 hours worth of wrestling.
Yeah. Literally, that's it.
Meanwhile, you go to AEW and you got Bryan Danielson on this murder spree of what are they? Those dudes, whatever. The guys in purple.
You got me.
Hangman Page's crew. The ones that all those guys.
Oh, yeah. Dark Order. Yeah.
So I have no endorphins. I actually left the tattoo shop and I was shivering with a jacket on. Like the brain is done. You got his storyline, and then they're building this. They got you got this whole thing with Jurassic Express versus Adam Cole and the Bucks. And there's this weird underlying storyline, which I didn't start picking up till last week or so. It looks like Christian's going to turn on Jungle Boy. And, Simon Miller mentioned a couple of weeks ago. I was like, no way. And then I actually watched a couple of the interviews. I was like, yo, yeah, he's but like they're gonna low key set that one up. You got Britt Baker as the world champion, and even though her and maybe only 3 other girls are actually talented in AEW, they're more interesting to watch than the insane amount of talent on WWE. Like,
yeah,
really, Toni Storm gets her revenge by throwing a pie. Toni Storm. Toni
Storm.
One of the most talented women in the world, who's only 22, 23 years old.
It's ridiculous. And then the dewdrop thing, like Piper Niven is so talented. I've said it before. It's ridiculous that they're sticking her with this stuff.
She was the Nia Jax they needed. She was the awesome Kong they needed.
Mm-hmm.
The girl can wrestle. She's a bigger girl, but she moves faster than half the women that are like a quarter of her size.
Yeah.
She's just so imposing as a wrestler, and they call her Dewdrop, and she has a match with Bianca Belair, and it goes awry a little bit, and then she just walks out of the ring and gets counted out. They had 2 countouts on Raw last night. 2.
That's every week. It's it's every match. It's it's a DQ finish. It's a surprise roll up. It's a count out. It's some kind of distraction. Nobody wins clean anymore. Nobody uses finishing moves or anything like that.
No, you even had
it's crazy.
You even had Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. I get it. Like a lot of people are starting to get on this Liv Morgan bandwagon. I think she stinks. She's beautiful. She's got something to her where the crowd is actually connecting with her, which is great, which is what they need. She's not a good wrestler. She had about 3-4 botches in that match. You can tell Becky was basically dragging her through that match. And then you can't have Becky beat her. You can't have Becky, you don't have to have Becky tap her out. Maybe some kind of weird bump into like that manhandle slam she does. And then,
or to go old school and go the Beck Exploder. She's got moves. Yeah. She's got plenty of moves that can finish her off,
Doing this thing where she holds the rope, and it's a roll up again. You still need to hold onto the ropes for a roll up.
I mean, I get they're doing the cheat to win thing, but I mean, there's other ways to do it.
Dude, it's typical WWE trying to force a narrative that nobody wants. Everybody loves Becky. They keep trying to make Becky get booed. It's not working. The crowd was dead during the match. Dead. I watched that match in full because I'm a massive Becky Lynch fan. Crowd was dead because they didn't know who to root for because they want to root for Becky, but they should have just booed Liv. They should have just booed her. But like I said, she's got a really big young crowd that's really following her. Her personality and the storyline they have behind her is connecting with kids and younger people, and that's great. I just don't think she's, considering the level of talent they have on Raw, she's not that good.
She's not. I think she's the best of a bad situation. Like WWE has the talent pool. There's like the top tiers of like your Becky, your Charlotte, you got your Sasha, and those type of girls, and then you have just below that you have Liv Morgan and Piper Niven and people that could really carry a match, but not nearly on that level. And unfortunately, Liv Morgan is the best of that level. And it's not good enough.
You got Ripley, but like they killed her. They killed her whole character.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Anybody, if you haven't seen it, go to NXT UK and look up Toni Storm versus Rhea Ripley for the women's title over there.
Yeah.
If you have no idea how good these two girls are, watch those matches. Toni Storm in the women's classic, just a phenomenal wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, where's Asuka?
Yeah, where is Asuka? They just lost what's her name, Cory Sane. Did she finally bail out? Yeah, it's like she's been in Japan. Oh no, is she still under contract? I heard some story about it today. Of she's still in Japan and she's like the ambassador or whatever like that, and she wanted to work a show and WWE said no. Like she wanted to work another promotion. They were just like, no, you're under contract. You're not doing that.
And this is what goes to show you like how petty and childish WWE can be at times. Bryan Danielson. They went to Bryan Danielson and they're like, stay. And he's like, well, I want to work other places. Mm-hmm. So they worked out a deal where he could wrestle in New Japan and WWE at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But Kairi Sane can't. And she's the ambassador for your Japanese branding.
It's ridiculous.
You don't want to put her on another federation to said.
It's like you said, it's petty. WWE runs wrestling. They want to run wrestling. It's like, no, we're the only people out there. How dare you want to work somebody else? You're not that big of a name. Blah 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 blah.
Meanwhile, Kairi Sane's massive in Japan, massive, and it would have been a great opportunity to have her wrestle somewhere else, and all they would have talked about on pay-per-view is how she's a WWE wrestler wrestling in their federation.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid, just stupid. Like, that's what I mean. And then you watch AEW, and like as much as we were trashing that, everything they're doing is right.
Yeah,
everything. I'm not an Adam Page fan. The entire bill for Adam Page and making him world champion, great stuff. You know, did I like the match in the end? No, because I'm also not really a Kenny Omega fan. He puts out a couple matches here and there I like, but every now and then I'm like, oh, that was really good. And then other stuff I'm like, dude, he did 17 V triggers and you're calling a 5-star match. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Like, I never understood the hype behind Omega. But he's good. But I don't see him as like the greatest wrestler in the world right now or anything like that, like other people seem to do.
I think that's Meltzer like propping him up, and I think I think this is almost like an experiment by Meltzer to see if he can get someone that title by propping him up with these 5-star matches. There's a great, oh my God, I forgot that I had it for last week and I forgot to write it down again on
Rampage?
No.
Dynamite? Oh, on a podcast.
Angry Dude
podcast. Cornette? Yeah.
Cornette had on his podcast 2 weeks ago. They reviewed what you did. You reviewed Survivor Series. So he reviewed Survivor Series. At the end, a fan of his show or someone who works on his show did a list, and it showed that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks had more 5-star matches than Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero.
What?
He started going through the matches. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels.
Jesus.
You're going to tell me, I'm sorry, Kenny's phenomenal wrestler. Great wrestler. He is not on any of the dudes I just mentioned's level.
No, absolutely not. My God. I guess Meltzer just kind of got, like you said, maybe it's an experiment that he's doing, or maybe he's got his favorite and he's just going to send him to the moon if he can.
He's riding that horse all the way. If I can only recommend, it's around the last hour of Crockett's Survivor Series review, and it's very interesting to listen to him and go over these stats. And it's just like, what, like, how more 5-star matches than Randy Macho Man Savage?
Jeez,
Get on again. You got MJF and CM Punk with their verbal battle for the last 2 weeks. That's been out of this world. A lot, the whole Miz shot, which was hysterical, and I thought the Triple H stuff and all. I thought it started getting a little heavy-handed when he started bringing all that in. I thought the John Cena shot was pretty funny. I got a weird feeling, man. That's like the second time. That's the second time they mentioned Cena. How much? It may not happen, but how much? Him and Punk are actual friends.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
I wonder if Punk's trying to court him.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Tell me he doesn't show. Like, if he shows up for like Full Gear next year, John Cena in enemy territory.
Yeah. It's over. It's over, Johnny.
It's over. He is the last true star of like the modern era of wrestling. Like, he shows up, man. Like, it's over.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, yeah. I have no idea. It would be absolutely insane. WWE's not going anywhere. They never will. No. Oh, like we say, it's over, but I mean, it's not like it's over in the sense of WCW doing its 83 weeks or whatever. It's over in that sense, but it's not. WWE is never going to go anywhere. And honestly, like to call back CM Punk's pipe bomb thing, it's not going to change until Vince is dead. That's the bottom line. Oh, or maybe all the rumors are true and they're actually going to sell the company.
I think they're selling it.
If they do, then we'll see some change.
And the rumors are selling to Disney. If they sell to Disney, it's just going to be a children's show. It's just going to be one giant children's show. What else I was going to say? Like, the other thing is, I'm hoping we have Bryan Danielson versus John Silver this week on AEW. Telling you, watch that match. That match is going to be phenomenal. John Silver, for as little as he is, he's really good. And we all seen what Bryan has been doing in AEW, knocking, Colt Cabana's like caps right out of his mouth, and what he did last week in Atlanta, like he's just on fire. And I wouldn't doubt it if you see him win the title next week.
Really?
I would not doubt it. I think it's the smarter move. I like Hangman. I like Hangman as a character. I don't think he's the greatest wrestler. He seems like he's a solid dude. Like, he's another one of those guys. Maybe it's because I'm older. He just doesn't connect with me. Mm-hmm. They called him the millennial like babyface, the first ever like millennial. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
But I think it's better he loses the Bryan Danielson right now and then works his way back again. Mm-hmm. I think they have a chance of building Hangman Page into a megastar if they really want to. Mm-hmm. And Bryan Danielson's just hot. He's just hot.
So hot right now. Bryan Danielson, so hot. Yeah, he is. And that would be a smart move. The Hangman Page story was a good story. It was a good build up and everything like that. It was a nice feel good moment, but time to move on. There's no way he can carry that title the way Bryan Danielson can. So you're right.
Like I said, man, you're looking at the guy main evented WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And not even a year later, he's going to be world champion of your biggest rival in wrestling. Mm-hmm. That's huge news. Like,
very much.
Like I said, this is nothing against Hangman because, I think, like I said, I wasn't into the match, but I think it was a really good story. It was a good feel-good moment when he won. It was really well done. It's just I think for news and everything else, I think the better move is to have Bryan Danielson win that title.
It'd be really hot. And like you said, it would definitely be news.
That's all I need.
Let's move on here, man. I think it's about that time. Let's shine that spotlight on one person that shined the brightest this week. Let's do it with a segment called "Who Wins Wrestling." That's not it. That's the Bearcat from weeks ago. Let's do that one more time. Who wins wrestling? Blah 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 blah. I don't know why I still have that on here. Let me delete that real quick so that I don't do that again. Just
AEW.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice as hell. Do you got a who wins this week, Mark?
Go
for it. Take that screen.
There's a lot going on, but I'm going with Johnny Gargano.
Nice.
Great leading story, great lead into actual War Games. With him losing the Braun Breaker for them to get the advantage. He had, just had a phenomenal match. All these callbacks to all his old storylines. At the end, they show him sitting on the ropes with his hands in his face in his hands. Everybody's chanting, "Thank you, Johnny." Dude, he was the heart and soul of NXT for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
If he's done or he's taking time off, and then there's rumors he might become a trainer. Congratulations, man. This guy was one of the best I've ever seen. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Johnny Gargano. How do you? I don't think there's ever going to be another guy like him in NXT. I'm waiting. Sorry, I'm distracted here. Corey Castle's here, but he's. I can see him fiddling with his headphones and everything else. I'm waiting for him to get there. He goes, "Hey, what's going on, sir?"
Hi.
Happy birthday, man.
Hi. Thank you.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
You joined us just in time for Who Wins Wrestling. Go.
Oh, yeah. All right. Man, this, frick. Crap, poop, shit.
We can come back to you. I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say Sasha Banks wins for me this week. She had a great match with Shayna Baszler. I hated the finish because it was another roll up. Surprise, surprise. But Shayna Baszler is just awesome, and I think these two would have a great program together if WWE is smart enough and actually does it. Sasha, what is Sasha in the middle of right now? It feels like she's in the middle of a feud with somebody else, but I might be wrong.
They got her mixed up right now in the whole Naomi and Sonya Deville sort of heat.
That's right. That's
and,
right.
And she's kind of not really in her own individual thing. She's just kind of in that. So they could do anything with her, really, honestly.
But I think if they throw her in a feud with Shayna Baszler, I think that could be really hot. If they give it number one, if they give it the time, and number two, if they give them some proper finishes with actual finishing moves and things like that, like they used to back in the old days. All right, did you have some time to think, Corey Castle? Do you have a Who Wins Wrestling?
I'm gonna go ahead and say CM Punk. The stuff. Honestly, I'm gonna say the stuff that CM Punk and MJF are doing, the back and forth, it's just so good. I want to say it's CM Punk, but I want to say it's CM Punk because he's been more active in ring than MJF is, even though I want to say MJF won, even though all he does is cut promos. But the MJF CM Punk stuff is kind of my favorite thing going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about that earlier. The promos back and forth have been really, really good from what I've been hearing. And yeah, man, CM Punk, absolutely. I'm still waiting for. There's got to be a big thing coming with CM Punk. I'm loving all the little matches that not little matches, but the matches that he's doing with the younger guys and the lesser known talents. But I'm still waiting for that big pop, whatever that's going to be. I don't think it's going to be MJF. I think he's going to. There's a big match coming with CM Punk.
Well, dude. I mean, I'm excited about the Daniel Bryan Hangman Page. Really excited to see where that's going, dude. Daniel Bryan is the best. Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, American Dragon. This is the best version of that athlete we've ever seen. And the fact that somebody that everybody knows his backstory the way they do is over as hell as a heel when we've seen him fight through adversity and come back. And he's just such a heel because he's so good at beating the crap out of everybody. He's like, he just beats them so hard that like, there's no way that you can cheer him because they're like, all right, that's our guy. We like him. Don't do that.
What was it, 2-3 weeks ago? I was just saying, he kicked the caps right out of Colt Cabana's mouth.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was telling him, I think that's going to be the match of the week, though. It's him versus John Silver this week. And then he wrestles for the title. Is it Winner's coming next week?
Winner's coming is next week, yeah.
We were talking right before he got on. I think he's going to win. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be unfortunate for Hangman Page, but he's so young and he's got so much potential that this can just be tiny bump on the road to him losing this title. The fact that he got it for just that minute is enough to solidify him as the guy. Look at Finn Balor had the Universal title for like a day. So it's apples and oranges to the Universal title versus the AEW title, but still he's that guy now.
Yeah.
He had that moment.
Now Finn Balor's wrestling T-Bar.
Slapjack got future endeavored.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Slapjack did. The other one's still around though. Mace, I think.
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
Miss Win don't.
Man, no, please don't.
Mace Win don't.
Mace, please no. Please Hammer, don't hurt him. Cory, we were talking for a while here. Is there anything wrestling related, anything you saw this week that you want to get off the chest that maybe we haven't talked about yet?
Oh man.
Just to give you an outlet for just because we're close to wrapping.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure you get anything you wanted to talk about off your chest here.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough now that I'm it's all, us having the week off of it. I was like, oh man, this whole week off and everything I've watched. I really kind of only watch WWE stuff very peripherally. Like I don't really watch it that much anymore. I definitely am more into watching AEW. I know Matt was talking to us on text message. I'm talking to Mark and Rick. He was talking. Matt Flowers was communicating with us about watching NXT
Wargames.
Wargames. I didn't catch it, and I will. I probably won't.
I do recommend watching the final Wargames match. The rest of the pay-per-view, I feel bad. The girls was a sloppy, clunky match. I feel bad because I'm a fan of a bunch of the girls that were in that match. The rest of the matches, like Rick said earlier, they're basically like watching a normal NXT. Takeover's done. Like they're not even doing takeovers anymore.
They don't even call them takeovers anymore, right?
Yeah, it's over, man. They're not even doing takeovers.
NXT's dead. Like it's no, who cares? And like, Tommaso Ciampa is undeniably a superstar. Like there's no way you can't look at Tommaso and have him and be like, yeah, he's your champion, and you all the way buy it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I didn't believe in it until I watched the match. This Braun Breaker kid, he's going to be somebody. Right. And he's got the full machine behind him. You can tell.
Well, good for him.
He's big. He's strong. He looks like like a McMahon type wrestler. Like I said, I don't know how he gets away with having Goldberg's tattoo on his shoulder. I don't know how that is. That copyright infringement? I'm not sure how tattoos work.
Well, it's probably just the stock thing they have on the wall at the tattoo parlor. Like, it's probably not based off of Goldberg. They were just like, yeah, they have this at the tattoo parlor. This is what I can do. No, get it. That'll be $200.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. One thing we did want to talk about was the Cody Rhodes setting himself on fire, going through that table that was on fire. It was last week or the week before. It didn't. What is Cody Rhodes doing now? Is because the crowd is not really behind him at all?
Because he's turning into the Miz.
what?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
He keeps doing all these reality shows and all this stuff. He keeps trying to branch out, and it's he's got a hardcore fan base. You can't really do that with those guys.
I
think that was all to say, hey, look, I'll give you guys things you want to see. Hey, watch me do things. But no one wanted to see you do that, buddy. Nobody wanted that.
I didn't want to see it at all. I was like, no, dude, the flaming table thing, please stop doing that.
What?
The other thing, the guys who used to go through flaming tables that I used to watch was always like Mick Foley or the Dudley Boys. They were like 70% clothed. They at least have
Balls Mahoney, yeah. Well, I mean, like I think whatever it was, like the stuff on his back was like the gel.
It was the vinyl. The table had a vinyl top to it, and it melted. That's what it was.
I think that there was also some like
I don't know what it's called.
Epoxy. Yeah. I don't know what it was.
It's an epoxy, but it's like definitely some kind of like whatever the stuntman stuff. When you're going to set a man on fire.
Remember Kane's arm in the Inferno match?
Yeah,
that was all over Cody's back.
That stuff. Yeah, it's like a weird blue gel looking thing.
It's just a wild scene when he's pinning Andrade, and Andrade's doing this because he's got a flame about the size of a quarter right in the middle of his chest.
But I mean, brass tacks. The fact of it is, Cody's better than that. Cody's better than that, and Andrade's better than that. They don't have to. They don't have to do that. They have not only. Like Cody has a position of power. Like people talk about AEW and they go, "Oh, Cody will bring you in for this or that." Like Cody gets talked about like he's the Triple H of AEW.
Yeah,
but like,
which is funny because that's exactly what he doesn't want to be.
Right.
That's exactly what AEW started for, is to fight against stuff like that. And yeah, you're right. He doesn't have to do stuff like that. But the thing is, the stuff that he is known for and the stuff that he's good at isn't getting him over anymore. And I think this was the problem from the beginning with Cody once he started in AEW, was that he doesn't know. He's going back and forth between being a face and being a heel. He's doing all this heel stuff. It's like when JR is always like, people go out there and they say they want to be a cool heel. Well, there shouldn't be anything like a cool heel. Cool heels shouldn't exist. But Cody is trying to be a cool heel, and it's failing miserably.
And the pandering crap of like, I'll never turn heel. I'll never like, come on, stop. That's like you that's dance with the partner that brought you there. That's you're a heel, and that's what got you over in the very first place. Like dashing Cody Rhodes was some of the coolest, most creative, fun things we'd ever seen a heel do. And now he's like, I won't be a heel because of my dad. Dude, lean into the fact that you're annoying everybody. Like that will make you the most over heel ever. But and also if you just were like, oh yeah, I fully support and agree with Randy on anything she ever wants to. If we call them like Pussy Whip Cody Rhodes or something, he'd be such an over heel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, Cody Rhodes. Oh, anybody that knows this channel knows that I haven't been the biggest Cody Rhodes fan for a long time. So, y'all, I'm glad that the rest of the world is getting on the bandwagon.
I like Cody Rhodes. I really do. I think Cody Rhodes is cool as hell. I've liked Cody Rhodes from the start. I think he's a really good wrestler. He's solid. He knows what the heck he's doing. And I just think for some reason he's stuck in that limbo of like, oh, do I want to be a wrestler or a sports entertainer? And you can't be a sports entertainer in AEW. You got to be a wrestler. And it's a difficult water to kind of tread in.
Mm-hmm. It very much is. Poor Cody. Come on, wrestling, get good.
Wrestling's great. I think wrestling's so good right now, and just there's some really confusing parts of it, but it's all good.
This is the most disappointed I've ever been in wrestling. at wrestling, I should say. But I want to start watching more stuff. I want to start watching AEW. And Mark was talking about MLW a while back. I want to go back to see if NWA Power, are they still running shows on YouTube, or they have their own channel now?
They're on Fight TV now.
They're on Fight TV. All right, so I can't do that because I'm not paying for it.
the thing I think that makes you as disappointed in wrestling as you've ever been is partly the corporate machine that is the WWE, and the way that structure is. I think somehow it's like we personalize some of the releases and stuff, but I remember anytime first coming into the business, everybody says save your money, have a backup plan. That's because you never know.
Stuff happens like this. I know,
and stuff like this happens. So. I bet you these people all got paid for months after it, you know what I mean? And they have the ability now, because of WWE giving them a platform and giving them a name, that they can go and make a name for themselves somewhere else and get money.
Oh, sure. Like now that, the pandemic's loosened up a bit, and you're seeing more and more indie rep promotions coming back. Anyone that wants to pay for any of the people that got released, the 70 or so people that got released this year, they're gonna make bank on the indies. If they're not already going to go to Impact or AEW or over to Japan or whatever, they're still going to be out there and they're still going to be making money. I think I just kind of took it personally a little bit. Like I was just like, I've watched you since the 80s, and not only are you writing poor television and not entertaining me, but you're also terrible people. So I'm going to go in and stop supporting you. And I think I just was like bummed out for that. So I'm going to get in. I'm still not going to watch WWE, but I'm going to try and get into more stuff.
Yeah, dude, I really hope you start watching Rampage and Dynamite, because those are both quality ass programs. They're really
Rampage
good.
is only an hour.
It
flies by. It's like NXT back in the day. 3-4 matches tops, maybe a couple interviews, and it's over.
Yeah,
and I miss that with NXT. I hated when they extended the time when they tried to go to war with AEW. It sucks now. Like it's just too much time with too little talent now.
It's just cutting your nose off. That's by your face kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that'll be about it for this episode of Rassle Rock, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you all for watching very, very much. Mark, I'm going to start with you this time. Do you have anything to plug?
Can I get in the camera? Where's my
here.
I was about to bring that up, dude. That's awesome.
Shane Bottom Tattoos. Shane B Tattoos on Instagram.
That's right, dude.
My John Candy piece I spent 3 hours with today.
Are they the same guys that did your Bill Murray tattoo?
Yeah, same dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Does good work. Does Dan
now
good work?
he's trying to push Chevy Chase on me now. It's like, I'm not
it's like, Funny Farm Chevy Chase or National Lampoon's Chevy Chase?
I told him Christmas Vacation. I want him with the Santa hat. But, I don't know.
Get him in the little John Deere tractor on the cover from Funny Farm.
Or the Three Amigos hat or something,
This is a very obscure reference, but if I do anything, I'll do the guys from Strange Brew on the back of my leg.
Oh yeah, that's a deep cut.
Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis before Rick Moranis was even in Ghostbusters.
Right. Cory, what do you got to plug, man?
Subscribe to my podcast, Evolving with Cory Castle, available wherever you find podcasts. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cory Castle. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Cory Castle, as it's down here at Cory Castle. If you're watching on the Rassle Rock YouTube channel, let us know you exist. Comment below with your thoughts and feelings, even if they're negative. We want to hear them, just because we want to know you exist more than anything else. And go to WrestleRock.com and support the store. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Cory Castle. let us know you exist and support us who are working hard to support, our love for this business and our love for our fans, the love for our listeners.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That's one of my major plugs every single week. Please check out everything that we do, man. Evolving with Cory Castle is definitely a podcast worth checking out. This podcast is definitely worth subscribing to. So if you're on, if you're listening to Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to the podcast, or if you're watching us right now on YouTube, hello, please click that subscribe button, like the video, share the video, comment down below if you got something on your mind, let us hear it. And definitely check out my other YouTube channel, Rick Connor. That's tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor if you want to see some cool independent wrestling. A lot of people that you've seen currently on WWE and AEW and stuff like that are on that channel on the indies. So definitely go over and check that out. Also, Rassle Rock is starting in a couple of days. It's starting on Monday, December 13th. That is our yearly charity that we do, the 12 Days of Christmas, crazy dumb video that we do every single day leading up until Christmas for 12 days. This year's charity is the National Alliance to End Homelessness, something very, very important, something that I quote Scrooged, the movie Scrooged, the end of that movie, everyone, just the miracle can happen. Take a blanket and go here. All that stuff from Bill Murray, since we were just talking about Bill Murray. But anyway, that's starting on Monday. So definitely check those videos out and share those videos. Give to that charity. We got 2 T-shirts going up for sale, which all of the proceeds are donated to that charity, to the National Alliance to End Homelessness.
And then I'm going to throw Rick under the bus. He just got a request. Any of you guys want Rick to review certain pay-per-views from the past?
Yes.
Rick just got a request. He's got to read the review first. I would watch it first before he announce what one it is.
I don't have the guys.
For Rick to review pay-per-views.
Yeah. I don't have the guy's name in front of me, but he hit me up on Facebook Business, which I didn't know. Anybody found us on that. It's like, what is that? You can message people on that. But yeah, he hit me up and he was like, I got this pay-per-view here. Could it's on Peacock. Can you review it? And I'm like, yeah, okay. Damn, I never got a request before, but sure. So yeah, if you got a request, man, you want to see me review something, if you also have the Survivor Series review and you like that kind of thing, yeah, absolutely, I'll do it. Why not? Yeah. I'm here for the fans. And that'll be about it for this episode of Rassle Rock.
Oh, real quick.
Yes.
DCW Overdrive TV taping this Saturday in Marydale, Delaware. I'm going to be going straight up face-to-face with one of my trainers, Eddie Valentine. I'm going to take him to wrestling school, and I'm going to beat the crap out of his old stinky fat ass.
That's the sexiest man alive you're talking about there, sir. Put some respect on that name.
Gold edition.
The gold edition, baby. All right. That'll be about it for this episode of Rassle Rock. And I'm Rick Connor.
Mark Hallbacher.
Cory Castle.
And let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.